Hello and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge, 6:14 a.m. August 19th, 2018. We have two Canadian blended whiskeys. They are both 80 proof. They are aged, well, one is aged 3 years, the other one has no age statement. They are bottled in the United States. First, we have from 1934, not this actual bottle, but the brand, introduced 1934, Royal Canadian, imported, there's some glare here, as daylight arrives. Royal Canadian, there's the maple leaf, a crown, no, not a crown, a maple leaf, a horse head, a motto, two lions on the crest. Blended Canadian whiskey distilled under supervision of the government of the Dominion of Canada. Okay. Distilled under the supervision of the government of the Dominion of Canada. Product of Canada. So if you had any doubts that it's Canadian, it's telling you imported. There's a maple leaf. Canadian, Canadian, Canada, Canada. But it's bottled in Frankfort, Kentucky at Buffalo Trace, distilling and bottling and blending, distilling, blending, and bottling. I went to Buffalo Trace last year. They show you a lot. It's huge. When they're showing you around, you say, this is huge. But then what they don't show you, it just goes on and on. It's like incredible. It's not like incredible. No, it is incredible. Oh, boy. So they're bringing in stuff from Scotland and bottling it, and from Ireland and bottling it, and from Canada and bottling it. Okay. And here's the website, www.sazerac.com. Glass, not plastic. Glass, not plastic. Glass, not plastic. Against Black Velvet, aged 3 years, bottled in Canandaigua, New York by Constellation Brands, who bought Black Velvet years ago, introduced in 1951. It's distilled, then blended, then aged, then imported, then bottled, okay? They say many or most Canadian whiskeys are distilled, then aged, then blended, then bottled. So they reverse two steps. Matte finish, this was $9.99 a bottle, or it sells for $9.99 per bottle. This cost me $5 for the, so this is half the size of that. So basically the same price, 5 or 10, or a penny less than 10. Okay. Like I said, no age statement, but it's probably 3 years. 3 years. Okay. 1934. That's before Newfoundland was even part of Canada. Did you know that Newfoundland was a separate country until 1949? When it voted by a bare majority, by the way, to join Canada. It barely passed. The referendum barely passed. And it became the 10th province of Canada. But before that, it was a separate country. Okay. Kind of like Hawaii was a separate country that became a state. Texas was a country that became a state. Alaska was a Russian territory that became a U.S. territory that became a state, and so on and so on. All right. Ooh. A little bit more. Did I eat breakfast? Yes. I had some of that Nature's Own crafted bread. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Hold on a moment. Un momento, por favor. It's called Nature's Own Perfectly Crafted. Never any artificial preservatives, colors, or flavors, and no high fructose corn syrup. Thank goodness, because that high fructose corn syrup, I have turned on it. It has turned on me. I hate it. I despise it. People say, why don't you try the Bud Light Orange? It's got that high fructose corn syrup, just like the Bud Light Lime, and that stuff is so astringent and drying and sickening. Sickening. I mean, they ruined Coca-Cola and Pepsi with that. They used to use pure cane sugar, but there it is. Nature's Own. Let me see. I'm gonna go back to the live. Nature's Own. And it's kind of expensive, but Mathern's been running a sale too for $5. There's the multigrain and the thick sliced white. And I put some sugar jelly, grape jelly with sugar, not corn, high fructose corn syrup. Great value grape jelly with no high fructose corn syrup. They use real sugar. And I use some creamy peanut butter. All right, well, enough of that. But this one didn't taste as good as the last one. It seemed like it had some, the mouthfeel was, was kind of funny on it. Grainy or gritty or something. I can't think of the word you're supposed to use for that feeling. Oh, well. Oh, well, that's okay. All right. Now, what is the ingredients of Royal Canadian? This I do not know, because they don't say. I would assume it's majority grain whiskey, filler, right? Grain neutral spirits, corn distillate, whatever you want to call it, with some rye and some barley and maybe some other flavors, but they don't say natural flavors added now. And Sazerac is good about that. They won't, if they don't say it, then they don't have it. So this one, you'll notice, I got a little bit left. If you ever try it, it has more of an American blended whiskey taste, just like a straightforward blended whiskey. A little bit of wood, a little bit of bourbon flavor, a lot of corn distillate, just like a standard thing. You wouldn't find that it's much different from your American blended whiskeys, your Barton, your McCormick, your Beams 8-Star, etc. And that's the same case with the Black Velvet. It's more alike. It's more similar to American blended whiskeys than different. And really, I don't see how it's any different, if you want to be techno. All right. So, okay. They're both golden. So we got Constellation Brands versus, I already don't know which is which because I was talking and worrying about that bread, but I'll mix it up anyway just to be sure. But we were talking about the Constellation Brands. Well, most of these brands that Sazerac has, they bought from Constellation. Constellation Brands say, well, let's unload all our lower price, value priced spirits, because they want to concentrate on upscale mostly. So Sazerac got a good deal on it, and now they're making money off of it. I don't know. That might have been a mistake. But they still have the low-priced wines, Paul Masson, Taylor, the Krabari, and even the lower grade Richard's Wild Irish Rose, which is where the company started. If you can imagine, you build a whiskey, you build a spirits, wine, and beer empire off of Richard's Wild Irish Rose. You say, oh, golly, who's Richard? Oh, that's the guy that runs the company today. It's a family-owned company. Richard Sands, Richard's Wild Irish Rose. I always wondered that, like, where did this weird name come from, Richard? Who the heck is Richard? Or in Louisiana, they might say Richard. There's the answer. A lot of these names have a meaning. Okay. Now, they also make the Manischewitz sugar fortified wines, corn syrup fortified wines. You want to get the ones that are kosher for Passover because they use cane sugar. Don't get those ones that just say kosher because then they're using corn syrup. So, L'chaim, let's start doing the taste challenges and the aroma test. So the color is the same. The color is the same. Okay, the aroma. Well, there was a little initial whiff of some kind of candy sugar thing, but then it dissipated, went whoop, went away. Whoa, got some lacing. So I don't. Yeah, it's still there. That's making me think it's Royal Canadian. Oh. And this one here, this one here, not there, here, there. Come here, go there. All right. This one has, I mean, they both have that grain neutral spirit, that corn distillate under body. You know, that's the chassis. All right. But this one has more rye and some cornbread and barley bread thing type situation. So I think it must be Black Velvet, eh? Black Velvet, eh? This one must be Royal Canadian, eh? But that's only a preliminary guess. That is not the official guess. Now we shall taste. Ta-da! Huh. Wow. Ooh. A lot of grain distillate, boy. Oh yeah, there's some nectar. There's some rye. There's some straight whiskey. But golly gee, the main body is the filler. And sometimes the filler can be a killer. You know what I mean? The filler can be a killer. It ain't too smooth. You know, they talking about it's smooth as velvet. Yeah, is it really that smooth? Because you get that corn distillate middle and bottom. It's more like smooth like a jackhammer or somebody scratching a chalkboard. Now, if that's smooth to you, well, then it's smooth as velvet. Okay. That one's a little bit smoother. This one's a little bit smoother. But it's still got bite to it. I don't know where these, but anyway. You might be saying, who made you a whiskey expert? Oh, no one did. I never claimed to be. Now, you might say, well, what is your qualification for tasting these? Oh, I never said I was qualified. My only qualification is I went to the store and I bought them, and now I'm back here tasting them. What's your training? I have no training. I have practice, a lot of practice, incredible amounts of practice, but no formal training, no expertise. Never claimed to have any. You could do the same, buy it, try it, taste it, try to differentiate it. Your question might be, what does it prove? What does it all mean? Oh, it doesn't prove anything. Might prove that I can tell them apart. Might prove that I like one more than the other. That's it. This channel is not on a great quest. I've talked about that in the past. There's no grand goal. We're not trying to solve. It's not, oh, we're going to reach the pinnacle of the beer, wine, and liquor, metaphysical, experiential nirvana. No. You got it mixed up if you think that. It's just somebody in a poor state. Louisiana is relatively poor, but wealthy compared to the rest of the world mostly. But you know what I'm saying? In a house, in front of a camera, tasting and smelling stuff and telling you what that person thinks. Now, if that appeals to you, you can watch it. If you don't like it, you could still watch it, but, or you could avoid it. Well, you know, it's like a personal preference thing. All right. It's the same thing over here. It's like an initial rush of flavor, honeysuckle, some rye, spice. And then when that dissipates, which it does very quickly, then there's the big, like that train just now, there's the whistle, and then the train comes. And it's all grain neutral spirit. It's all corn distillate, and it's all just bulk. And that bulk will run you over like a train. This will run you over like a big bulky whiskey. You say, well, is that good? Not necessarily. I don't remember ever saying that either one of these were good. I just said they weren't horrible. In fact, you go back and look at the record, the videos, even when my daughter and I did the Royal Canadian, I don't remember us saying it was good. We just said it doesn't taste bad. But that's not exactly a compliment. I mean, I've had many beers that didn't taste bad, but they weren't good. Okay. Would I go out and buy these two products? You mean to drink, like to actually buy them just to enjoy and drink? Oh, no, never. Wouldn't dream of it. I bought them to do this, taste challenges, do reviews, and all of that. Not to, they're not good enough for that, to just drink. But then I never buy anything to just drink because I never will get to the reviews. You see the catch-22, so to speak. If I buy them just to drink, I don't get to the reviews. If I buy them just for the reviews, I don't ever get to drink them. So you say, well, when are you going to ever get to the point where you just buy stuff and drink it just to be drinking it? I don't think I ever will, you see. That's what I'm talking about, the lack of a goal. It just goes on in perpetuity. And you know, Chad's beer reviews say he's given up beer reviews. Again. I said again. He has more farewell tours than the Who, I think. But he said, no, he just talked about everything and he did reviews and he doesn't want to just be talking into a camera. But that goes back to, I think that his idea was that it was a great goal. There was this great goal and he couldn't reach it, or he didn't reach it, or he didn't know what it was. Couldn't figure out what the goal was. So he just got discouraged and finally gave up. And he gave up 3 times previously, I believe. But that's my advantage because I don't have any goal. See, I'm not trying to achieve anything. So then it can just go on. You say, oh yeah, 30 years from now, you'd be on here, 80 years old doing videos. I might be. I don't know what will happen in 30 years. I might die tonight and never be on again. Some viewers probably are wishing for that. But see, you need to examine your conscience if you wish bad things to happen to other people. See, that's a very dangerous attitude to have as far as eternal life consideration, right? Because you want someone to die but then one day you're going to die, and you're going to have to answer for that. I have to answer for things I've done. I got a lot of answering to do. Okay. You might say, well, I bet you some people made you mad on the internet before. Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't care about that. I mean, they did, but what difference? I mean, it's like, so what? Well, I still watch the videos. If they said, let's do a beer hangout, I would do it. It's very bad to harbor anger and resentment, and you say, I'm going to get you in on. That's a very bad, like even Richard Nixon said, when you hate, you destroy yourself. See, and he had done a lot of that, you know, anger and hatred toward people. So when you hate, you destroy yourself. Hello, says Valentin George. Hello. The Canadian whiskey. Let's go. Says BT4K. Right. Sometimes I do all that talking I'm trying to get a handle on the whiskey. You understand? I don't just say, I taste this, I tasted that, I smelled this, I smelled that. Okay, this or that, that's that. Bye. See you later. The video's over. I'm in a big rush. Everybody's in a rush. I'm on my smartphone. I got to look at this. I got to look at that. I got to look at this. I got to look at that. I got to call this person. I got to text that person. I can't live like that. All right. Nobody wants you too nice. You are a nice guy. Wants you to. Tansy. No one wants you Tansy. Oh, to die. Some people do. But we want to be pro-life. All right, we want to be pro-life, right? Pro-peace. That's why my other channel is called Anti-War. All right. Well, it's got to be the case. This has got to be. Another reason I was talking a little bit is because this was so easy to differentiate. I think the video would have lasted 3 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, hey, smell, this is that, bye. They're similar, but they're not the same. No. Do they both taste like $10 whiskey? Yes. Are they good? I would use the word tolerable. I would not feel comfortable using the word good. Do I have good whiskey? Yeah, but it's not in this room right now. So if you want something tolerable, these would be two good choices. $10, tolerable. Okay, that seems fair. Here we go. I think this is Royal Canadian. It is. Ha ha ha. I guessed it within 10 seconds. I'm getting pretty good at this. The dissenting voice. Because you're drinking all the time. That's all you do. 5:30 in the morning. Yeah. I'm not even drinking anyway. I'm tasting them. I'm not drinking them. I would never dream of drinking whiskey at dawn. Thank you. But I would taste it for scientific and cultural purposes. Which one's better? You ever had nails driven through your head? Okay, anyway, which one's better? I guess I have to say Black Velvet is better. It is smoother. I don't know about the smoothest velvet. I don't agree with that. But this Royal Canadian, boy, whoa, I'd like to know who in Canada in the royal family is drinking this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure when King George VI and Queen Elizabeth visited Canada in 1939, they were not drinking Royal Canadian. I just get this funny feeling. One good thing about drinking this, if you could drink it every day, you could be really resistant to torture. You know what I mean? Like, you get captured in a war and they say, you're going to talk, or we're going to torture you. You might say, well, okay. I used to drink Royal Canadian on a regular basis. They might say, oh, well, never mind. Let him go. He's never going to talk. He'll never talk. And I drank a whole bottle of Richard's Wild Irish Rose. They say, oh, no, let him go. He can't. You'll never break him. You'll never break him. You never break him. All right. So you could train yourself in dealing with very severe punishment. Is this the worst whiskey I've ever had? Oh, no. The worst whiskey I ever had was it's a good question. I don't know, like 20 of them. You know what I mean? Like, there's a whole gang of those little nefarious creatures out there on that bottom shelf. There's a whole gang of them. And they are just notorious. But people buy them, including me. So I can't be out here judging them and I'm over there buying them, right? You might say, no, you can judge them because you bought them. That's true. But, oh, well, that's the way it goes now. What's coming up? What's coming up next? I've had, what has it been, like a week straight of hitting these taste challenges perfectly? Like I've been guessing on aroma only. Boom, 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 boom. That tells us one thing. These Canadian blended whiskeys might not be good, but they're not the same. They are not the same. Anybody that tells you they're the same, they're wrong. You can tell them apart on aroma only if you have enough experience tasting them. Would I recommend drinking at 5:30 in the morning, 6 a.m.? I would strongly advise against that. I would never recommend that. A crazy person would do that. But I taste them. That's what I'm doing, tasting. And I'm doing it for scientific and cultural reasons. So that's how I can defend the activity. Now, but we've got Black Velvet going up against, and if you thought Royal Canadian was a step down, you don't know, because we're going to Canadian Limited next. Whoa, you say, oh no, that's $7.42 a bottle at Walmart. Canadian Limited, oh no. And I'm saying to you, oh yeah, Canadian whiskey with natural flavors. Oh, well, I mean, it's gonna be the same thing. Aroma, I've got it. Okay, I'll try not to philosophicalize as much. Then Thursday, it goes lower than that. Black Velvet versus Albertson's Canadian whiskey. $4.99 a bottle. You heard me right. Ooh, oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, $4.99, right. Now, the Royal Canadian is actually not that cheap. I talked about getting it for $5. It's really more than that, but they just made a deal with me at Ali & Sons. Ali & Sons. Because I had the cash, which I flashed, and they bit. But, you know, in Louisiana, they have what we call variable pricing. But anyway, and then we got Albertsons Thursday. And then at the end of the week, this is the plan, at least Saturday, Black Velvet versus Canadian Crest. Same thing. Aroma only, I'm going to get it. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to get it on aroma only. There's no doubt. So that proves that. Then we're getting off of Canadian whiskey for a while, and we're going to have a whole series of blended Scotch whiskey taste challenges. You might be saying, oh boy, I can't wait. You know, you'd be saying that sarcastically. I can understand that, but I like the quaint nature of these things. And I've got Piper Dean. Piper Dean. You say, Piper Dean, what the hell? Excuse me. What the heck is Piper Dean? Oh, yeah, an Albertsons brand. So I'm going to have a solo review coming up, like recorded, you know, on the camera. And then we're going to do Piper Dean against everything. Scoresby. Buchanan's 12-year. Well, you know, that's going to be a farce. Buchanan's will kill it like with no kind of mercy. And against Cutty Sark, which will be another fiasco. And 100 Pipers, that'll be a fair challenge, you see. What else do we have? 100 Pipers. I don't know. I got a bunch of these Scotch whiskeys, blended Scotch whiskeys, many unopened. But oh yeah, I forgot Clan McGregor. That won't be any kind of contest. Clan McGregor's going to beat it like a drum. Or will it? I think it will, because I think the Piper Dean has more of a like a heavier body, and I think the Clan McGregor is a little lighter body. It's kind of like Cutty Sark, a little lighter body, but it can't compete with Cutty Sark. Cutty Sark is more fine. Fine meaning, you know, like fine bodied, delicate, I should say. Okay, so that's it. That's the upcoming schedule. Finishing out the Canadian blended, then go into Scotch for a while, and then we're gonna come back around the bend and start up another American blended whiskey. And what will it be? I think it's going to be T.W. Samuels. You say T.W. Samuels. Uh-oh, about to get real. It's about to get real. Thank you.